Hi everyone, my name is Greg Jameson. I'm the president of Web Stores Limited, and I run this online class called Web Stores University. I am here today with Richard Weiler, who is all about guerrilla marketing, and we're going to talk today amongst ourselves just to share some ideas with you about what kinds of guerrilla marketing tactics you can use in your company and your business. Richard, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, like Greg said, I'm Richard Weiler with Guerrilla Marketing. I'm a member of the Guerrilla Marketing Expert Advisory Board, and I co-lead the Guerrilla Marketing movement with Jeannie Levinson, the love of J. Conrad Levinson's wife, who is no longer with us. And we've got some pretty exciting things that we do. We help people utilize low-cost marketing strategies and innovation, out-of-the-box thinking, unconventional wisdom, and combine all of those things together to help them increase their sales and ROI and marketing and their business in general.
Yeah, and you know, the publisher of my book, Amazon's Dirty Little Secrets, is also the publisher of a number of the guerrilla marketing books, which is kind of the connection that Richard and I have here. You want to say anything else about the guerrilla marketing movement in general before we kind of delve into some specific techniques?
Sure, we're doing some really cool stuff. You already missed the Guerrilla Global Summit, I'm sorry. That was a few months ago in Orlando, Florida. We had some amazing people there. Seth Godin, who is on our Guerrilla Marketing Expert Advisory Board, was inducted into the Guerrilla Marketing Hall of Fame and was our keynote speaker at the event. Joel.com also keynoted the event. We had Armin Warren, James Malinchak, just you name it. We had some of the top thought leaders in the world there. We'll be having another one of those global summits coming up in about 6 months, and we have dates for that, so keep an eye out for that. And we also are opening up entrepreneurial chapters all over the globe. It's kind of like a meetup group with some networking opportunities meets guerrilla marketing education. And we have 13 leaders around the globe, all the way, anywhere from Singapore. We're vetting people in Japan, Romania. We have Canada, all over the continental United States, from California, Phoenix, Philly, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Utah, just all over the continental United States. All these areas are open up, and you'll have opportunities for the first time ever to be a member and join with the other guerrilla marketers. This was all part of Jay's dream. The Global Summit was part of Jay's dream. These entrepreneurial chapters that we're opening up were part of Jay's dream, and we're working really hard to make J. Conrad Levinson's dreams come true, and really excited about the things that we're doing, and I know he would be too if he was here with us.
Yeah, and I think one of the really cool things about these chapters is that we're bringing together a bunch of people that can kind of share ideas with you on your business, much like we're doing on these videos. So you get other people's inputs on some really creative things that you can be doing for your business. So let's actually spend some time here today and talk about some things that maybe different businesses could do. Richard and I have talked about how a number of these small businesses out there, probably a lot of you who are watching this video, are people that are selling things in a physical shop, and you need to utilize your website to drive people into your store, as well as to get people to order things when they do get on your website. Depends a lot upon what your product is, of course, in terms of the types of guerrilla marketing techniques that you might use, but we're just going to kind of brainstorm a few things here, and maybe I'll let you start off if there's anything that comes to the top of your mind, Richard.
Well, you know, it's really important as a brick and mortar store to realize that, one, if you want to utilize the internet to drive traffic into your business, a lot of mistakes. Many years I consulted local business owners that wanted to utilize the web to increase their sales on a local level, but also increase their sales on a national level. So I have some experience in that. The first mistake that a lot of business owners make when they're trying to do this is they don't realize that their competitors are not their local competitors. They think, oh, okay, well, there's 15 tire shops here locally, and I'd love to move more tires local here. Whatever the product is, insert your product here. These are my competitors, these 15 stores. Well, when you move online, your local competitors are not your local competitors. Your local competitors is every single business around the world that has any kind of interest in your local market. You've gone from from that local competitor, from traffic standpoint, to tens of thousands, in some cases even hundreds of thousands of businesses that want to get in front of the local traffic in your area. You're competing with Amazon, you're competing with eBay, you're competing with Yodel, you're competing with Yahoo, you're competing with all of these different businesses in every single directory that's listed out there that has geo-targeted intent for your area. And that doesn't mean that they can deliver a local product like you can, but if it can be packaged, if it can be shipped, that is your competitor. If you're a mattress store, eBay selling mattresses, Amazon selling mattresses, and then there's 100 other companies like Service Magic, Angie's List, other different companies out there that are looking to sell you a lead for your local area. So you're competing with the direct competition, and you're competing with the competition that wants to sell you that lead. So the first mindset you need to get out of is that mindset that it's just a small world that you're competing against. Once you realize that there's a bigger world out there, you're going to need to take some drastic steps, like building citations, going out to these local directories and making sure your business is listed in these local directories. It might take 20 minutes a day to have yourself or your admin go out and find local directories like Hot Frog, Yahoo, or these different directories. It's very easy to do a Google search. You put your exact information in there over and over again, exactly the same way in every directory. Over time, as you do that, that will allow you to come up in the Google search results. How much does it cost to actually do that? Almost nothing that it costs you. It just costs you a little bit of time to do that, and over a little bit of time, that will help you move up in this and drive that local Google traffic directly to you.
You said two things there that got me thinking. One is people shipping mattresses or whatever. I was actually at a conference recently where someone was talking about shipping pool tables. And Amazon's CEO, Jeff Bezos, has this quote that says, concrete would be the perfect thing to sell on Amazon. So the reality is that it doesn't make a whole lot of difference here as to what it is that you are selling. You can sell and ship things that are obviously big and heavy. I've got customers that are selling trees around the country. So you can sell just about anything. But the other thing that I was thinking as you were saying that is, I was talking, this is a couple years ago now, but talking to someone that ran a cookie store in a resort town, and they struggled. I mean, during the summer, they had, hundreds of people a day coming into their store, but during the off season, during the winter, they had a hard time making their business model actually work because no one was coming to this resort town. But what they did is they gave away a free cookie to everybody that came into the store if they would give them their email address. And as a result of that, lots of people would say, yeah, here's my email address, I'll take a free cookie. But now they were able to build this pretty substantial list because they had a few hundred people a day coming into their store during the summer. And now during things like St. Patrick's Day or Valentine's Day or Halloween or whatever, they could make special cookies up for these occasions, send out an email blast to this list that they had created. Didn't cost them hardly anything, and they were able to basically sell things year-round as a result of that.
Oh, that's absolutely right. And so many business owners fail to build a list. I'm actually working on an article. Ink's betting me to write a column, and the article that I'm working on for Ink talks about two fictitious auto mechanics, and I actually work with some auto mechanics, so I have some early on in my consulting days, so I have some background in this area. But the first auto mechanic goes out and he does a direct mail campaign, and in his direct mail campaign, essentially, he does the thing that most people do. The salesman goes ahead and writes the direct mail ad for them, and they go ahead and they mail out to the little local region in their area, and they put a 20% off coupon on an oil change, Mechanic A, and everybody comes in and he takes the coupons and he throws them under the register. He doesn't collect any information. And then at the end of the campaign, he says, you know what? I'm never going to do this again. I'll never make the mistake again to advertise. Well, then Auto Mechanic B, the same salesman walks into his shop. He's across town, gives him the same spiel. He immediately refers him over to the marketing manager. His marketing manager writes the ad, writes the copy, works very closely with him. They don't give 20% off on the oil change. They give a free oil change. You can imagine direct mail, what's going to happen. So on the outside of the mailer, it says inside encloses a free oil change. Every single person who sees that mailer is going to do what? They're going to open it, right? Then it takes them to a website. Now, in order for them to claim the free oil change, they've got to go to the website, fill out all their information, name, phone number, address, email. And then what we do is we email them a coupon. Now, they print off this coupon, they bring it in the store, and as soon as they walk in the store, the admin of this store pulls up their information on the screen. It's already stored in the computer and says, okay, we've received a coupon for this person. They tag it, and they make sure that they no longer send emails to that person about the free coupon, right? They're going to do a nurture campaign, and everybody that doesn't come into the store receives a reminder. Hey, here's your coupon. Go ahead and print it off and come on into the store. Mechanic A, he made the mistake of not gathering information, not giving an irresistible offer, and thinking about making money on the oil change. In the end of the day, Mechanic B, he's losing money on oil changes, and he doesn't care because he's building a relationship with these customers. He's going to make money when their engine goes out, when their transmission goes out. He's going to make the big money repairs because he's established rapport and he's established a relationship with these people. And that goes right in, dovetails right in with what you were just saying, Greg, that what we need to do is make sure that we're not looking at business the old school way. The old school way was you put up a business by the side of the road that had a lot of traffic and you were done. You just had a sign up and people would walk in and you'd be profitable. It doesn't work that way anymore. The internet has changed that. The way people gather information has changed that. It's a relationship-based business, and people no longer make relationships face-to-face like we used to. The relationships are now digital relationships through Facebook and other social media, through email, through blog posts, through interviews like what we're doing right now today. This is relationship building in our world. And those that fail to make those relationships, gather that information, and communicate with their customer base, they'll get forgotten while everybody else is going to have a loyal following. We all want a loyal following like Starbucks has. If you can get a loyal following like Starbucks, it's amazing. Without Starbucks raving fans, it'd just be another coffee shop.
Yeah. So let's actually talk a little bit about that, about getting these fans. And you mentioned these types of interviews like what we're doing with the face-to-face thing here. Most small businesses, I think, are really falling down on that whole aspect of things where, video testimonials are absolutely huge. And I know a number of people that are working in shops, like I mentioned, the cookie shop or whatever, where they have all these people coming into their store, but they're failing to get testimonials from these people. A lot of the times people will sit there and they'll eat the free cookie and they'll say, hey, that was a really good cookie, but it's left there. If you were to actually put up a video camera in your store and somebody tastes that cookie and says, hey, that's a really good cookie, and you catch that on videotape, now you can kind of leverage that whole thing and start to build this raving fan base like a Starbucks has.
Right, and you make such an important point, Greg. I want to just take that a little further. Don't skip the hard part. Greg said do video. There's a difference between a video testimonial and a little line of text that says, oh, I loved their cookies, Gene from Omaha. Nobody believes that.
Yeah.
Nobody believes that. That's the worst testimonial in the world. No picture, just plain text, Gene from Omaha. Everybody's like, yeah, you wrote that yourself. And there's 3 exclamation points at the end, right? They don't believe it. They don't believe it. The next best way to do a testimonial is have Gene from Omaha with a picture, and then that helps. Oh, Gene can be a real person. People are still skeptical of that. The next level up is to put their phone number or a way for you to contact Gene from Omaha to verify this is a real testimonial. That takes it up another level. You want to take it up another level, if you can't get them on video, get them on the phone, record the interview, and put their picture up, Gene from Omaha, with a way to contact them, and they can hear the emotion in their voice. They can hear that these are the best cookies in the world. They hear that emotion.
Yeah.
The next step up is what Greg just directed you to, and you went straight to the point. Get that video testimony. You don't need a professional studio. Take out your cell phone. My iPhone has a better camera than the $1,000 or $1,500 camera that I use in my video studio. It actually is better quality, higher quality, and does a great job. Pull out that cell phone, maybe even go crazy and put it on a stand, but you don't have to put it on a stand, and record this person. Now they can hear the emotion. They can see the emotion, and there's video, and there's no need to put their contact information at this point because they trust that person that's talking. They don't. Most people go, "Oh, that's not an actor. I can hear the emotion in their voice." And don't settle for the testimonial you get. You need to slice it up. It's a $20 problem. Hire a video editor to take that testimonial, slice it up, and make it a little better, because some people are just boring. They don't have a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and you want to catch that most in the major part of the enthusiasm. And then if you really, really want to take it, you can take a testimonial that's completely unusable and take out 2 seconds of it and couple it with a bunch of other testimonials side by side and make what I like to call a testimonial reel, and then now you have 8 people in 30 seconds saying all these wonderful, you can be a boring person. The cookies were amazing. And then that's good contrast to the energetic person. These are the best cookies I've ever had. You want to take them through that up and down roller coaster, and then you take unusable testimonies, unusable content, you pull them all together in a reel, and then now you've got a real powerful representation about what your brand is, and very believable.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't really realize just how powerful testimonials are. I mean, Amazon built their whole business based upon the testimonials of people going there, and it's essentially one customer selling another customer on why you ought to buy this product. Physical stores, you've got people coming into your store. That's a whole lot easier to get a video testimonial from somebody that's in your store than trying to run an internet-only business. And then you kind of have to ask somebody, hey, would you go out there and take a picture with your cell phone or whatever? These people are in your store, especially if they're repeat customers. Ask them to do it. A lot of times people will be honored that you asked them to give a testimonial. And if they are camera shy and they don't want to do it, that's okay too. The next person probably will.
Right. It's not like it's just like business. You're not going to sell something in most cases to every single person that walks in the door. Cookie shop may be different, but a mattress store or a lot of other places, you're not going to have every single person that walks in the door buy. And it's just the same way with the testimonials. You don't get discouraged. If you talk to 100 people and ask them for a testimonial and only 20 say yes, you still have 20 testimonials.
Yeah.
And you can even incentivize people a little bit. Maybe have them maybe film them while they eat their first cookie. In order to get the free cookie, we have to film you. And you film their response as they eat the cookie, and they're, oh my gosh, this is so good. That's a much better testimonial than someone that goes, I already ate the cookie, that was delicious. But if you see the emotional reaction, whoa, that sells them even more.
Yeah, and once you have the testimonial, you can utilize it in a whole bunch of ways too. So obviously you can, you've got the video and you can post that video wherever you want to, but you can, tweet about it, you can put it on Facebook, whatever. And really utilize those testimonials to start driving more traffic. You will build that raving fan base like Starbucks, just because
Yes.
people believe other people more than they believe you.
Absolutely. And I think something that people neglect is realizing that they can do something about the cold traffic that comes to the internet. A lot of people focus on an opt-in form to build their list, but they ignore the opportunity for retargeting / remarketing is what it's commonly referred to as, where every visitor that comes into your website, whether they're there for 1 second or 2 minutes, whether they filled out a form or not, you can build a retargeting list. And what essentially happens is you put a cookie on their computer. It's nothing malicious. Almost every single site on the internet that knows what they're doing is doing this. They're putting a cookie on the computer. A lot of you that have stores already know, and you can get really specific and targeted about these cookies and find out which product it is that they're interested in and which products they're not interested in, and make sure that they're now seeing that everywhere they go on the internet, that it's showing up on the banner space. And be creative with your banner space. Don't show one banner over and over and over again. That's kind of annoying. Some people could get even annoyed by that. You want to have a series of different banners in different shapes and different sizes. Some of them are square. Some of them are coming along the whole right side. Some of them are coming on the top, right, left. Make sure you know what's going on with this banner space, and make several different engaging, fun, fascinating banners. There's that typical, I'm on the little side of the banner peeking up here going like this, or I'm over here in like the triumph, the whole triumph mode. Whatever it is that you need to do to stand out uniquely to your customers, make that happen. J. Conrad Levinson, the founder of Guerrilla Marketing, he developed the Pillsbury Doughboy. He developed the Maytag. He developed the Jolly Green Giant. Some of the Rice Krispies, Snap, Crackle, Pop. When you hear ho, 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 what do you think of? These are things that he
Santa
did.
Claus, right?
Create.
Santa Claus, right?
Yeah. Thinking of Santa. Green Giant.
Yep, absolutely.
And he created these memes. He created these characters that when you see an image, you see that Maytag man in the corner going like this. You know what's going on. He's bored because the product's so good he can't fix it. That whole idea in one image, when you see it's communicated, do something to make your marketing fascinating. Do something to make it stand out. Do something that when they see your ad, they don't feel like it's an ad. They feel a connection with you. They say, oh, these guys are so funny. I just want to do business with them. And it doesn't have to be ha-ha funny. It can just be interesting and different. How different does the Jolly Green Giant look? I mean, come on.
And that whole business of retargeting, everybody, I think, has experienced it, but so many businesses are not using it. Just Amazon, of course, uses it incredibly well. You look at a product on Amazon, you go to a different website, whether it be Facebook or some other blog or whatever, you will see an ad for that product that you were just looking at on Amazon. They obviously know how to do it. But imagine on your own website, if somebody had visited your website and they were looking at mattresses or whatever, and they came back a week later, and all of a sudden this video appeared and it said, Richard, I noticed that you were on our website looking at mattresses. We've got this great deal for you. You'd all of a sudden be like, whoa, really?
Yeah, and it's a reminder too. In the digital age, it's not like we walked in the store and you have a captive audience. Somebody can be looking at your page and about to buy, and then a Facebook notification pops up. They're gone. They may never come back, even though they intended to buy. They be on the internet. Oh, it's time for dinner. Oh no, I'm almost late for work. You got your almost buyers that are lost in this digital age, and retargeting reminds them, hey, you meant to buy that earlier. You forgot. Here, click on it. And I'll be honest, I don't know how many companies that advertise doing paid traffic or other things. I don't know how they even get an ROI without retargeting. to me, if you're on the internet, you better be retargeting. Otherwise, you're wasting the traffic, you're wasting the money, and you're not doing a good job. Retargeting has one of the highest ROIs of any other form of advertising. And all of that traffic, all those impressions, all of those eyeballs, imagine you have a list of 20,000 people that are now seeing retargeting ads. All those eyeballs, all that branding, it's absolutely free unless they click. And why do they click? Because they're ready to buy. There's very few of them that click to go back to a site that they've already been to unless it is to buy. And often $1, $1.25, $1.50 is enough money to get them back to your site.
Yeah, and the Facebook ads that are so prevalent anymore make it really easy for people to do this. You put that piece of code in there that they call a pixel. I'm not sure why they came up with the name pixel, since it's related to graphics, but it's basically small piece of JavaScript code. You stick that on your website, and Facebook does all the hard work for you.
Yeah, and if you want to go even easier, you can use a company. I don't own stock. I'm not anything for you. You can use a company called Perfect Audience. And Perfect Audience, there's no monthly fee at all. You just sign up, you put the code on the website, and they will retarget on Google and all the other banner ad networks for you. But what will happen is somebody comes to your website that you have no connection with on Facebook, they will automatically retarget on Facebook as well. So you can take your Google traffic, and now they'll see your ad on Facebook. And you've never had a connection with them on Facebook in any way, shape, or form before. And Perfect Audience makes it possible for you to cross-pollinate from the banner ad space over to the Facebook space. And Facebook can be a great way to reach people. It really can be a great way to reach people. People are that are on Facebook oftentimes are browsing, they're in the mood to shop, they're just being casual. It's a great time to reach them. When you email somebody, how do you feel when you open your inbox and there's 40 emails? You're not feeling the same way you do on Facebook. Yeah. You're not feeling laid back because make these go away. It's really how you're feeling a lot of times.
You know, I was just reading a blog post yesterday from our colleague Jeff Walker that was talking about how he really felt that this was the golden time of internet marketing because of Facebook ads, and how you don't have to have this big list anymore. You can just advertise on Facebook. It's incredibly inexpensive for what you get, and you can have this really broad reach for, a very small investment. I actually was doing a Facebook ad for a client, and they spent roughly $117 on this ad, and it reached 32,000 people for that, and it drove a little over 700 website clicks. That's pretty good return on investment to get 700 website clicks for $117. So this is something that any small business can really do.
Right, and it's also important to remember your email list, even though they don't want to receive emails from you as much as they used to. There was a day when somebody received an email and they were like, "Oh, yay, I got an email." That's not how it is anymore. But you can take your Facebook email list and create what's called a custom audience inside of Facebook ads. And you upload that email list into Facebook, and then Facebook says, okay, which one of these emails have a Facebook account? And you're going to probably see at least, you've got a current email list, at least 1 out of 2 people that are on your email list will also have a Facebook account. And now you can say, well, I only want to advertise, check off, to this custom audience, these people that are already on my email list, and then go down there and make your bid really low, because they're your list already, and Facebook understands that this is already your list. And I've been able to get 1 million impressions on Facebook this way for under $300. And it's pretty easy to do. And I like to bid on impressions, and 20 cents for 1,000 impressions, 22 cents. I just go in and play with it if I'm not getting the reach that I do. Go in there and keep running it and keep running it and keep running it. And all these people people are going to see you over and over again on Facebook. And if you promote your post, you can do it in a way where it shows up in their news feed. And then when their friends, you can set it up as well to where when their friends when they like something or they comment, their entire friends list also sees it. And now it brings that trust, that preset trust of your customer list of people that have given you emails. It goes ahead and pulls them in. An advertisement only has a 14% trust rate. That's the last statistic I saw. It was around 14%. And a peer-to-peer recommendation, like on social media or Facebook, has somewhere in the high 80s, 84% range of trust. So you got to advertise. What is that, Greg? Maybe 5 times as much, roughly 4 to 5 times as much on ad spend is to get a peer-to-peer recommendation to be effective.
Yeah, it goes back to that whole thing of what we were talking about of getting these recommendations and testimonials and people believing other people more than they believe the company that's putting out the information in the first place.
Right.
Let's take the conversation here in a little bit different direction. So we've been doing a lot of stuff here talking about online stuff, which I think is important because everybody's online anymore. But the content of these ads that people are seeing, whether it be a video or it be a graphic or so forth, that's the first thing that catches somebody's eyes when they're scrolling through a Facebook feed or they're seeing things on your website or whatever. They notice the graphics, they notice the motion of the video and so forth. And as we're talking about guerrilla marketing, what specific things can you think of that might play into the graphical image? You talked some about the Green Giant, obviously, or the Rice Krispie people.
Right. You know, Jay always said that guerrilla marketing is marketing made fascinating. And I think what we fall into as marketers, as business owners, as people doing advertising, is we fall into this trap where we're focusing on good copy. Oh, what's the headline look like? You know, we're not really doing anything different. Why is it that people love Super Bowl commercials so much?
They're entertaining.
They're fun. They're entertaining. They're different. They're crazy. They're out of the box. They're unconventional. Those people are following Jay's models. The Super Bowl ad model is Jay's model. Make your marketing fascinating. Do something different. Do something completely unconventional. Whatever it is that you need to do, get noticed. What do these radio DJs do once in a while? They'll camp out on a billboard. You know, one guy started it. I'm going to camp out on a billboard for a week. They're going to just bring me McDonald's up here, and I'm going to do it for this charity, whatever it is that they're doing. They're doing something different. They're doing something out of the box. They're doing something that's unconventional. Don't look like everybody else. Put more thought into it. Understand your target audience. Understand what they uniquely want. Understand what it is that they need that's completely underserved in the market today. What is it today that you can put out there that you know your target audience is absolutely hungry for that nobody else is offering? A free oil change would definitely be something that nobody's offering. Who gets a free oil change? I don't understand. What's the catch? Everybody's going, oh, there's no catch. We just want it.
I got a free haircut recently along those same lines. But yeah, I think that the point of all that is that people are not looking to be sold on anything. That they're looking on anything. They're looking for one of two things. They're either looking to be entertained or they're looking to be educated. And
right.
If you aren't entertaining or you're not educating or both, then you're going to lose people. So your advertising, even the graphics in your advertising, they need to be entertaining. And a lot of times it seems like whether it be the Green Giant or the Pillsbury Doughboy or the Rice Krispie people or whatever, it's because there's a character behind that. And that character is, you can put them in a bunch of different poses, make them say and do silly things and so forth, but that starts to become part of your brand. And I don't think that it is that difficult for pretty much any company to come up with a character to represent their brand like that.
Right, and it's not just about the character. It's about that, and that is a great way to do it. It's about that unconventional thinking. Let's talk about a few major corporations that have instituted guerrilla marketing and what they did and how they did it. So a good example of a very inexpensive marketing ad that's gotten McDonald's an insane amount of traction is they went ahead and they took a crosswalk and they painted a gigantic box of fries in the middle of the road. And the fries were the crosswalk as you're walking across, right? Very clever, and it gets so much traction. It's still talked about. It gets massive social sharing all over. That's huge, and it's cheap. How much does it cost for some paint and a license from the city to place that there? Not much. I mean, you're talking about a company that has billions of dollars to spend on advertising. They paid for somebody to spray paint a crosswalk. But you better believe every person walking across that's leaving impression on them that they'll never forget. Let's talk about what DHL did. DHL went ahead and they wrapped some packages and they put it in a special film around the package that when it was frozen, it turned black. And inside that package, they wrote DHL is faster, and they had UPS and FedEx and a bunch of other companies shipping their packages around, and they would ship it from a cold environment to a warm environment like Florida. And then when the guys took it out of the truck, they're going all over the city looking. They actually had them mailed to addresses that were nearly impossible to find because they had a list of them, of course, being a mail carrier. And so now you got you with UPS and other people going all over the city, lost, carrying these gigantic packages. This DHL is faster. That's fun. That's engaging. It's out of the box. This is the type of stuff. And you can imagine that video has millions of views and went viral and got DHL all this free advertising, essentially. How much does it really cost them to mail a package with their competitor? How much does that foil cost? $1 a foot, maybe? I mean, you're talking about a very inexpensive form of advertising that's unconventional, a whole lot of fun. Sprite in Mexico made a gigantic soda machine and turned it into a shower. And so you get up and you stand under the soda machine and you push on the soda machine just like you would with a cup with your body, and now you're taking a shower in Sprite. They had 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, 4 or 5 of them. You can just get up there and just and the water, the way the water came out, looked just like a soda machine, like you're standing in front of a gigantic soda machine. Microsoft recently, when they launched their store, Microsoft has a gigantic store. Apple and Microsoft Store is trying to compete with the Apple Store. This is a big deal. They're not being shameless about it. They're putting them in the exact same malls that the Apple Store is in. I'm not sure that's a very smart move, but that's what they're doing, right? And so what did they do in New York City? Apple has this flagship store, absolutely gigantic store, biggest Apple store I think that exists in the country, possibly the world. Microsoft, right across the street, essentially decides to open a Microsoft store, just as big, just as beautiful, just as wonderful. And what do they turn to advertise that store in New York City? They turn to guerrilla marketing strategies. They go ahead and they say, hey, if you show up here at 6 o'clock in the morning and you come into the store, we're going to give you a free ticket for this for concert. Okay, boom. They got people coming in that way. They put up vending machines all over New York City with Microsoft products, Xboxes, the MP3 players, phones, all kinds of different things. You could walk up to this vending machine, push whatever button you wanted, and you got it for free. And they did all this to advertise the Microsoft store in New York City. It made pretty big headlines that they used guerrilla marketing as an aspect to market that brand new store in the city, and it worked. I mean, you saw the lines down the road for these people at 6 o'clock in the morning waiting for free tickets and coming into the Microsoft store. All those people are not only going to go into the store and know where it is, they're going to tell their friends they got that free ticket, and they're going to tell their friends where they got it, which was the Microsoft store.
So a lot of these
about the strategy.
A lot of these examples that you were just giving there are people were creating an event around their product or services. And that's a huge thing that any small business can do is create an event around what you're doing. I've actually got a customer, and I think this is brilliant, that every fall it's a feed store where they sell, hay and rabbit food and whatever else, cat food, dog food. But every fall they put together this animal swap in their parking lot, and they encourage people from all over to come and say, hey, here's a good place to get rid of that litter of kittens that you didn't want to have. Here's a place to pick up a free puppy, whatever. But people come there, they bring all their animals, and so the guy's in the parking lot, and he's like, well, that's cool, I just got this free rabbit for my kids. Oh crap, now I got to go get a cage for it, I got to get the bedding for it, I got to get the food for it. Well, there's a feed store right here in the parking lot. So it doesn't take much to build an event around your products or services.
Yeah, my dad owned a mattress store. That's one of the reasons I mentioned it. And what I did at one point was I got a live band to come and play outside of the mattress store. And we gave away free hot dogs and soda and different things. And we advertised out by the road and had somebody standing out by the road, essentially flipping the sign and doing anything. Hey, live band, free hot dogs, da 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 da. Well, what we did is we sucked them in with the live band, and if they wanted a soda, they had to share on social media. So the people that came in, oh, would you like it? Well, all this is this, but oh, you want a soda too? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a soda, but you've got to log into your Twitter, you've got to log into your Facebook, and you've got to share, and then we'll give you the soda.
Yeah.
And it worked like a charm. They were like, yeah, share on social media for a free soda? Yeah, let's do this.
Especially if it's a nice hot day, right?
Yeah,
They're really
absolutely.
thirsty.
And we had them, what we did is we staggered in. The band was outside, the food was inside, and the free soda was on the other side of the store. So they needed to walk in and walk around the whole store. It's like people always say, why in the world does Walmart put the milk all the way in the back? Of course they put the milk all the way in the back. They know you're going for milk and eggs. And they probably, some people might take milk and put it in one place and put eggs all the way on the other side of the grocery store because they want you to walk down, right? So you get them to come in and you engage them and you give them something for free, and then you can always offer more if they want them to take that desired action. And it's the same way on a website. Give them something for free, and then after they log in and you've got their information, offer them something more if they'll do more, like share and tell their friends. And that's a great way also to take your existing traffic. If it's good enough, you can create a viral loop. You need to have a VX greater than 1. And if you can create a VX greater than 1, when one person shares even 1.1 more times, then you can create viral traffic where it's just continuing to go up and up and up and up and up with this different little tell a friend script and different things like that on your website. Oh, well, you got this for free. Now we'll offer you this for free if you tell 5 people and you put in 5 emails. And then we want more than one person from those 5 emails. And if we can do that, we can get 1.1 persons to share it. It'll go viral.
Yeah, I think a lot of times that what happens is that business owners feel like they aren't very creative and they don't really know what to do. But kind of what you were just saying there about, Walmart putting the milk and the eggs in the back. It's a lot like what I talk about in Amazon's Dirty Little Secrets is you find somebody that has done a really good job. You find a big player out there and you copy what they're doing. If it makes sense to put the milk in the back, even on a theoretical thing for whatever it is your store is, you find out what successful people are doing and you tweak that to fit your business model, but you mimic the same concept.
Right.
So I think that a lot of the things as it relates to the guerrilla marketing techniques that we've talked about here today, if you feel like, I really don't know what to do, I'm kind of stuck or whatever, look at what other successful people have done and put a spin on that for your company and do the same thing. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Absolutely. Modeling is such an important principle. Why would you go out and try to discover everything that's ever been discovered on your own when you can literally just go find a successful business and look at what they're doing and model it. And also being part of a mastermind is a really great idea as well, because if you're part of a mastermind with a group of other entrepreneurs, especially in a similar industry and similar niche, you can say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What was your experience with that? And when you do that, then you're able to get that experience firsthand of what they did and what they didn't. And then based on the feedback that they give you, you may still decide to do it, but you're going in it with open eyes, even if it's something that somebody's failed in before, and it gives you that information, that feedback. There's never a reason, I like to say, smart people learn from others' mistakes, not their own. So if you can ever learn from somebody else's mistakes, go ahead and do that. You never want to learn from your own mistakes.
Yeah, and masterminds are absolutely huge, I think, for almost any business owner. I don't know why you wouldn't do it. I meet with my mastermind group every single week, and I always learn something. Sometimes, my wife will say, why are you going to that thing again? It's like, because I get something out of it every week that I go. It's a good thing to do. And
yeah,
and being part of groups like the guerrilla marketing groups that you talked about at the beginning, again, it's getting information from other people so that you can then apply that to your business. It's really important.
Yeah, and we could use that as an example. The Guerrilla Marketing Official Group, we started that maybe a month ago. Within the first couple of days from that group, we were able to build it up to, I think it was somewhere around 1,000 people. Once we had the group built into 1,000 people, we grew that a little bit more, over about a week or so. But now the group, we don't do anything. We're not doing anything to market it. And we've had another 300 or 400 people join without any market at all. It's just organically growing all on its own. We got a group of 1,800 local marketers, and they are absolutely excited. They're absolutely excited about what we're doing. And a lot of groups, when people add you into a group, like if a friend adds you into a group or someone adds you into a group, the first thing that people do, they get upset. If you get exclamation points, it's followed by an expletive, right? Where the opposite thing was happening in the guerrilla marketing group. We would add people. We didn't add anybody unless they were a targeted entrepreneur, and we knew that they would already be interested in what we were doing. And when we added people, we got lots and lots of explanation points and thanking us. Oh, thank you for adding us to this group. Thank you for doing it. And we were really unconventional in building that group, in that people were so appreciative to have a place to connect with other guerrilla marketers. And there were a lot of guerrilla marketing groups on Facebook, but there was no official guerrilla marketing group that's run by guerrilla marketing on Facebook. So we started this thing. There's over 1,800 people in it, and the engagement in it is absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing. So again, what we did was we identified the same things that I talked about that you want to do. What is it in your marketplace? What's an underserved demographic? In this case, our demographic that we figured out that was underserved by actually some consulting from other very smart people, I didn't even think of the guerrilla marketing group, was we realized that these guerrilla marketers all over the world didn't have a place to get together and communicate. And so we just created that. And overnight, we had one of the most amazing active groups I've ever seen.
Okay, I think that's actually probably a good way for us to kind of segue into the conclusion of this thing. Maybe you can tell people how they can get involved with guerrilla marketing or contact you or whatever.
Oh, so sure. One way to get involved is to go to gmarketing.com, the letter G, marketing.com, and get on our list and just sign up, and you'll receive communication from us that way. You can connect with us on the official Guerrilla Marketing Group. So just type into Facebook, Guerrilla Marketing Official Group, and that'll come right up. You can connect with us there. We're always amazing content and strategies and images, and you'll get a real great idea, like talking about DHL and McDonald's, all that's inside the group. We've posted images for all those cool things and exciting things in there, and that's a great way to get in touch with us. Those are probably the two best ways to get in touch, is to go to gmarketing.com and get on our list, and connect with us on Facebook in the Guerrilla Marketing Group.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Richard, for being here today. And if you're watching this video on any place other than Web Stores University, then and you want to get more information like this from other people, different interviews and so forth in the future, you can just go to webstoriesuniversity.com. So thanks again, Richard, and we'll be talking to you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.